The Citroën DS may look like an elegant classic today, but in its time, it was unlike anything the world had ever seen. It redefined design, technology, and imagination on the road. Today, we uncover the most shocking secrets behind the Citroën DS. The Citroën DS didn't just appear overnight. It was the result of an incredible 18-year-long secret project that the company hid from both the press and the public. Work began in the late 1930s under engineer André Lefebvre and Italian designer Flaminio Bertoni. Their mission was to create something radically different, a car that would make every other motor look instantly outdated. Even within Citroën, only a handful of insiders knew what was happening behind closed doors. When the DS finally debuted at the 1955 Paris Motor Show, it stunned the world. Its futuristic shape, smooth lines, and engineering innovations were unlike anything people had ever seen. In fact, Citroën took more than 12,000 orders on the very first day, an unheard-of achievement at the time. The DS wasn't just a new car, it was a revolution born in secrecy, and its unveiling remains one of the most dramatic moments in automotive history. Perhaps the most famous chapter in the Citroën DS's history is its role in saving the life of French President Charles de Gaulle. On the 22nd of August, 1962, de Gaulle's motorcade was ambushed in Paris by gunmen from the secret army organization, a group opposed to his policies. Their intention was clear: to assassinate the president. Thanks to the Citroën DS's advanced suspension and handling, the car managed to evade the attackers and get de Gaulle to safety. A hail of bullets struck the DS, shattering windows and blowing out multiple tires. In almost any other car of the era, this would have been fatal. The vehicle would have lost control, spun out, and left its occupants exposed. But the DS was no ordinary car. Its hydropneumatic suspension kept the vehicle level and stable, even with ruined tires, while the hydraulic steering allowed the chauffeur to maintain control. Against the odds, the car accelerated out of danger, carrying de Gaulle and his wife to safety. The incident quickly became legendary, turning the DS into more than just a symbol of innovation. It became the car that saved a president, and with it, a defining emblem of French engineering brilliance. The Citroën DS was so advanced for its era that it often seemed like a car from another world. Its sleek, aerodynamic body and innovative hydropneumatic suspension gave it an almost floating ride, leading many to compare it to a spaceship or even a flying car. Citroën engineers explored the full potential of the suspension system in ways that sparked myths and legends. Stories spread that the DS could drive on 3 wheels, hover over rough terrain, or glide effortlessly like a vehicle of the future. While it never actually left the ground, the DS performed feats no conventional car could. Its self-leveling suspension maintained perfect stability even when wheels were damaged, and its ride absorbed bumps so smoothly that passengers genuinely felt as if they were floating. The combination of advanced hydraulics, lightweight bodywork, and aerodynamics created a driving experience previously unseen in automobiles of the 1950s and 60s. Even decades later, the DS remains one of the most imaginative and technically daring cars ever produced. Decades before modern adaptive headlights, the Citroën DS had swiveling headlamps. Introduced in later models, these lights were linked to the steering, allowing them to turn with the wheels. This meant drivers could see around corners at night, a safety advantage no other family car of its era could offer. For drivers on narrow European roads, often winding through villages and countryside, this was revolutionary. The headlights dramatically improved visibility and reduced the chances of accidents after dark. Many drivers couldn't believe a car built in the 1960s could be so far ahead of its time. What's even more remarkable is how long it took other manufacturers to catch up. Most mainstream cars didn't offer this feature until the late 1990s or early 2000s. The DS proved that Citroën was decades ahead in thinking about driver safety and comfort. Today, swiveling headlights remain one of its most iconic and futuristic features. One of the most striking and innovative features of the Citroën DS was its single-spoke steering wheel, a design that immediately set it apart from every other car of the 1950s. Unlike conventional multi-spoke wheels, the DS's single horizontal spoke was not only visually futuristic, but also carefully engineered for safety. At a time when airbags were non-existent, the single spoke reduced the risk of injury in frontal collisions by allowing the driver's chest a clear path while still maintaining full control of the vehicle. Beyond safety, the design enhanced ergonomics and visibility. The minimal spoke structure gave drivers an unobstructed view of the dashboard and instrument cluster, allowing them to monitor speed, fuel, and other gauges with a simple glance. Its positioning and lightweight construction made steering remarkably easy, complementing the car's advanced hydraulic-assisted systems. Inside the cabin sat a small lever that allowed the driver to raise or lower the car's ride height at will. This wasn't a party trick. It was a practical tool. Owners could lift the car high to change a tire without using a jack, or raise it further to clear snow, gravel tracks, or muddy country lanes. For smooth city driving, the suspension could be dropped again, improving stability and comfort. But the real genius was the automatic ride height correction. Unlike conventional cars, which sagged under heavy loads, the DS continuously adjusted its suspension to stay perfectly level. Whether carrying a single passenger, a full family, or a boot overflowing with luggage, the car always maintained its poise. This made the DS incredibly versatile, equally at home on rough rural roads or gliding along motorways. At a time when most family cars relied on crude springs and dampers, Citroën's self-adjusting suspension felt decades ahead, a glimpse of how the future of motoring could look. Among the Citroën DS's many groundbreaking features, its semi-automatic transmission stands out as a true marvel of engineering. In an era dominated by fully manual gearboxes, the DS offered a system that removed the need for a conventional clutch pedal, making driving smoother and less tiring. The driver could change gears with minimal effort, while the hydraulic system ensured each shift was precise, effortless, and perfectly synchronized with the car's unique suspension and steering. City driving, long considered a chore in standard cars, became a refined experience. Traffic jams and stop-and-go roads no longer drained the driver's energy. Yet this futuristic convenience came with a hidden challenge. Mechanics unfamiliar with the system often struggled to diagnose or repair it, adding to the DS's legendary reputation for complexity. Despite these hurdles, the semi-automatic transmission perfectly complemented the DS's vision of effortless luxury. It wasn't just a gearbox, it was part of a revolutionary driving experience, where innovation and comfort converged to make the DS feel like a car decades ahead of its time.